Previously, our heroes have traveled the Great Circle under the orders of Primus, first among Modrons. You've raced through space and found the very bottom of the infinite depths of the abyss.
It was up. It was up all along.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Gamers don't look up.
You've satisfied the challenges of the Githzerai and uncovered the heart of Limbo. And you've climbed to the very heights of Mount Celestia and had a minor battle of wits with Jazarian, god/goddess of the feathered serpents.
I got one of the feathers.
And now you have done everything that the Lady of Pain has set forth for you. You have some time to spare before you head back to Sigil. But as before, how much time you spend is up to you.
I kind of want to save
you do
the
need
universe.
to tell me, though.
Yeah, I kind of want to save the universe and time and space. So, 3 months? 3 months sound good?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, 3 months is enough to vibe,
I'm not
sure.
that worried about it on this occasion, so whatever.
Yeah, I have nothing planned, but I also plan nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're at the point now where we've pretty much done everything we need to. Is just the one last thing we need to do.
Indeed. And before then, though, you do spend some time back on Mynth. Any particular plans out of anyone? Lily? Let's start with you.
Fuck, shit, crap. Oh god.
I do also have something.
Please give me the something. Give me something to work with.
Which is that a familiar space pirate ship descends again out of the sky.
Did they finally master the morph ball?
No, that's the one who hunts the space pirates.
Look, I'm just saying, they did experiments. Everyone died horribly, but they did experiments.
No. But, let's see. Here it is. So, yes, the crew of the good ship once again spend some time in Viana, basically enjoying themselves, getting some shore leave. And Captain Corindra, the Devil's Daughter, makes a point of stopping by Lily's place to catch up.
Look, I've met the devil. I don't think she's the daughter of the devil.
Well, she does have fiendish blood running through her veins.
It's true, but I drank tea with the devil.
I knew the devil. The devil's a good friend of mine. You, sir, are no devil.
Anyway, if you do bring this up with her, her response is simply that Well, you know, I'm not the one who came up with that particular title.
Oh, that's just... You know what, at least you own it, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it strikes fear into the hearts of sailors.
Only if they're cowards.
Oh, it's useful. Well, less blood gets shed when you're robbing a space frigate, the better.
Yeah, I mean, granted, if they knew what the devil looked like, they would be a lot less scared.
Oh?
Yeah, she looked like a grandma. It was weird. Lovely little shack covered in flowers. Delicious tea.
Well, I met some mean grandmothers in my time.
I haven't.
Now, you grew up in a goblin quarter. You've met some mean grandmothers.
True, I have met some mean grandmothers. This is a fact, yes. You don't fuck with goblin grandmas, you don't.
But, well, to tell you the truth, there's a particular reason I decided to stop by.
Oh?
It was to give you this. And she pulls out this fairly long, narrow amulet. Has this silver chain at one end. It's got some symbols running vertically down. Most prominently, the amulet itself is solid jade.
Ooh.
And just, it appears that someone sort of carved out the center of it and placed red jade into the recess, and the red jade is shaped like an ankh.
Huh. Can I figure out what it is at a glance? Can I?
You don't have to,
Okay, good. But I wanted to, but okay, yes.
because she says, this here is something called a amulet of regeneration.
Huh?
You put it on, and all wounds heal. All missing parts come back over time.
You're my parents coming through?
Yes.
Oh.
I was wondering who saw that was coming from.
I just like immediately after Bobbin stopped talking, that started happening. I was just like, my brain couldn't parse.
I didn't know he would be that loud enough. He was standing outside my room, so.
Well, you guys have picked up my roommates before. It's only fair.
It's true. Luckily, we
Yes.
always start this so late that I won't have to deal with anyone. It's great. Regardless, though, I appreciate it.
I heard about it when I was in the lands to the northwest of here. Them ruled by those golden dragons.
Oh God.
It reminded me of you.
I mean,
So I did what I always do. Something inspires me. I stole it.
oh, woman after my own heart. Oh wait. Actually, this is absolutely wonderful, and I feel at a loss, but give me 1 second. Lily's going to start rummaging through her drawers, looking for a specific thing, and eventually pop out holding a feather. A single feather.
Oddly colorful. Is this
Yeah.
dyed somewhere?
It's not dyed. This is natural. I don't know if it has any actual properties to it or what it does, but I did get it from a god.
Did you now? So you've met Devil and a God.
Hey, God, yeah. Oh, multiple. You know what? Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'd love to hear all about it.
I can tell you later. Either way, though, yes, this is a feather I got from the serpent god, and I don't know. I thought you might appreciate it. I don't know. I'm bad at these things. Usually on the other end of things. Taken.
Aye, same here. Looks quite wonderful. I'm sure if it's from a god, then even if it don't do anything now, it'd make quite the item if it were worked correctly.
I mean, do with it as you please. I felt, I don't know. You got me something really nice.
Well, the first thing she does with it is pull out the peacock feather in her hat and place it with yours.
I'm absolutely flattered.
And incidentally, this item is actively a ring of regeneration, but as an amulet.
Okay.
So it requires attunement, but you get 1d6 hit points every 10 minutes. And if you lose a body part, then it will regrow and return to full functionality after 1d6 plus 1 days.
Oh, hell yeah.
Assuming you have at least 1 hit point the whole time. So no getting knocked down, I'll reset it.
Now I'm just wondering what happens to ears.
It would actually come back,
Huh.
regardless of how old the injury is. If some part of you is missing, it will regrow.
Gonna keep that one in my back pocket for later.
Also, if you do get a bit cut off, and you just stick it right back in, and reattach. If I remember
Huh.
right.
It does not specify in this edition, but I would say that that's still true.
Yeah, magic is fucking weird.
Yeah.
Oh no, what'll I get rid of? Oh no.
Oh god, yeah. That's a real good item, but we're all full up on shit that we can attune to.
To be fair, one of my attuned items is very, very situational.
Same. Mine's kind of just a joke item. Oh, but speaking of which, I should lower my strength down back to 21 instead of 23.
But it was hilarious using it to fuck over a vampire, so...
Oh yes, that is true. Reduce the +2 you got from being in heaven and following a path. That no longer applies. You are outside of heaven now.
Already done it.
I never did it.
Yeah.
Rip 24 charisma.
Yeah. Fun while it lasted.
Mhm. If only I could have applied my extra ability score to charisma again.
Single tear rolls down your cheek.
But yeah, essentially, after the gift exchange, Corindra moves into heavy flirting.
Oh no! Not heavy flirting! It's like normal flirting, but more.
Flirting plus.
I mean, Lily will try her best to match, but be incredibly fucking awkward about it.
All right, and I believe that Corindra will slow down to match.
Oh god, now I just remembered what happened to her dad. Still fucking terrified of opening up that can of worms. Oh no.
But, well, towards the end of her visit, she moves again to kiss you, but then stops herself for a moment and says, "Before we take this any further, there's something you should know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not the kind of lass who can lay down with just one person at a time."
I'm shocked. Shocked, I say. But I understand completely.
I'm glad to hear it. Right now, I'd say well, I've certainly fucked everyone in the crew at least once. I'd say I've only, relationship with 3 of them. You'd be the 4th. It's all right with you.
I've heard a weirder. Look, it's not like I'll be around all the time anyway, so.
Well, you could be.
I could be.
You've been telling me you've been this whole saving the world business has been wrapping up.
That
about
is
what you wanted to do after that?
Have ideas.
Boy, good with a gun on our ship. Not nearly enough of those out in wild space.
Also, I doubt there are many on your ship with a delicate touch either.
Hey,
I've seen your
depends on
band.
where and when.
Look, my point is, I know a thing or two about doing things quietly.
Aye, that does come in handy sometimes. Like with that time you and me were up against each other in the fight for the flags.
Look, sometimes you're. Some people are just born knowing what they're good at, and damn if I don't know what I'm good at. But I would like to join you, though there are some things I'd like to set in motion first.
Oh, that's no problem for me. Still got more than a few elven ships to ransack around these parts before we're no longer welcome.
Good. Fuck elves. Nothing but a miserable time with elves, god damn it.
Well, you have to tell me about that too. And if you get the opportunity, tell the whole damn crew.
I'm sure they'll love hearing about that time I killed some elven queens.
Aye, they would. Aside from the one who used to be an elven queen.
It's fine. It's fine, they can deal.
He's a bit sensitive about that time. Got a bit awkward for him.
No. Other queens. Empresses.
Oh no, I know. Real awkward.
Ah. It was intensely satisfying though. But yeah, I'll definitely take you up on it. I need some time, especially even ignoring the whole mess I'm currently steeped in. My god. Holy shit.
Bobbin, I wanted... Oh, go ahead.
All I was told to do was drag some people through a desert. It's all. Somehow this shit ends up happening.
Well, you could have bailed at any time, couldn't you?
No, but money. Money. At this point, it's like,
I'm seeing around here a lot of things that you don't get with just money.
Look, it's I mean, yeah. First it was about money, after a point it's just a sense of obligation. And I mean, I don't completely hate the people I'm working with. Only one of them, really. And Grenache doesn't stick up his ass, but he's a lovely person. Likes good people. A bit naive, but good people. Also, Aurelia exists, I guess.
She means well by you, if that's any consolation for you.
Yeah, no, I understand that. It's just.
I mean, the only reason you guys are fuck you.
That is why Karindra is trying to stick up for you.
Look, she tries, but it's when she talks I wish she wouldn't. It's very simple, actually. Fuck you! I mean, at the end of the day, I guess I'm trying to be a bit of a better person. It says a lot when a god tells you that to your face.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I do appreciate Aurelia, though. Maybe one day I'll tell Lake he's my friend. Maybe.
There.
Maybe one day I'll tell them. Maybe one day. To their face. Maybe.
Alright, but the visit, like I said, wraps up fairly soon after that. She kisses Lily again, keeps it fairly chaste still.
Actually, Lily just grabs her by the side of the head and goes for it. On her tiptoes. It's at least tiny.
Has to jump up a little bit.
But then sees her off. What a time. Still terrified of dealing with her parents, though.
Anyway, so does anybody else have anything specific in mind? So the next thing I have will involve all of you at once.
I don't have anything in specific, but I am going to go use the restroom real quick, so if anybody else does, go for it.
Nothing specific for me comes to mind, at least.
God, well, I don't know. I mean, Aurelia is going to want to do some things around, the future of Viana, but I feel like that fits better as a, epilogue kind of stuff.
All right.
I'm trying to think of anything she wants to do right now.
And the only thing I can think of for Grenache is at least laying the foundations for his plans going forward.
Right. And that was to basically open up a new monk school down south.
Yeah, get the ball rolling on that a bit, and see about taking up position in Okar.
All right. Well, considering what you did for the people down south to stem the invasion of goblinoids, You do have a few landowners who owe you favors that you can speak to about getting a good plot of land to build a new monk school.
Yeah. And Grenache has always been a person of simple means, so he just wants something that does the job it's meant for. So nothing flashy, nothing exotic going in there, just a simple space for the intended purpose.
All right.
Nash running out with a piece of toast stuck in his tusks.
So, here's the thing, is that one day Aurelia, a couple of halflings come to your manor, seek an audience, get up to your room, and once they're there, they say, so, Princess Aurelia, we got kind of a problem.
Yes.
And it's kind of big. Some of the merchants in the consiglio, a lot of them aren't quite so fond of what you're doing. All the new spices and new ideas you're bringing in. The halflings you've let get onto the consiglio.
Yes, well, I mean...
Open trade with Okar. They liked how things were. They liked how much they could throw their weight around with the way things were. And, well, we always keep an ear to the ground. It's healthier that way for us. And so we've been hearing some rumblings that a lot of the merchants aren't too happy about things, want to do something about it. Want to bring a noble with some connection to the family into town, put him on the throne, make sure things go back to the way they were.
Time to spill some blood.
I of course I was aware that there is a conservative faction, one might say, in the Consiglio. But well, that certainly goes a step beyond anything I had heard about.
Problem is, they got friends too, like the Rotador temple. Not too happy about hearing that there's a new high god in town. Not too happy that a lot of folks in town are thinking that new high god's the shit. A lot of folks not too happy that you're marrying outside the, human sphere.
Ah, yes, outside the human sphere, they say to Aurelia.
Say it's bad enough that your father went and fucked an elf.
Eladrin,
I mean,
but
that's justified, but that's just because it's an elf.
well, yes. I mean, I am aware of these concerns, but of course there will always be people like this. The real problem is if it is getting to the point where they are considering treason. Well,
The problem is that
changes
they got
things.
organized and they got money now. So, luckily you got money and you got friends too. That's why we're here. We like the way things are going now.
Yes.
We don't
What-
want you dead.
What about the common people of the city? Do you know how most of them feel about all this?
They don't share too much with halflings. But if I know how common people go, they go with the wind. Whoever's blowing the most hot air up their asses.
Well, if there's one thing that I'm good at, it's
At least you admit it.
it's talking.
Problem is, the folks they hire don't listen to hot air. They listen to the cold, hard metal clanking in their hands.
Yes. All right. Well, I appreciate you bringing this to me. Suppose I'll have to consider how to move against these people. Do you have names?
Yeah. Not enough proof to actually get them put away without angering the whole consiglio. Well, we got the names.
All right. Well, as I see it, there are two broad options here. The first being to try to move quickly to, organize against them, to do whatever I can to, cut them off before they are able to make a move. And the other would be to perhaps try to provoke them when they're not prepared. Which considerably more dangerous, but also, if it were to work, perhaps more likely to effectively destroy them. As once they make their move, there's
Speaking
a
of
little stopping me from cracking down on them. Yes.
Meanwhile, Lake. You've noticed that there are a lot more people hanging out in the Royal Woods these days. They don't seem like the usual peasants searching for game animals to feed their families. They look like hardened, seasoned adventurers and mercenaries who don't seem interested in the animals so much as the fey creatures who have been attracted here thanks to the Dryad's presence. And we've already noticed several of them have been killing the fey creatures.
Yeah.
Justified.
No.
The first couple of times, at the very least, you arrived too late to stop them from doing so.
All right. I guess it's time to see if I can pull divine intervention out of my ass. See if I can't get Mynth to stop them personally. Since it's a 20% chance, I can just roll a d20 and just be like 1 through 4. It works, right?
Or D10 in the first two.
Oh yeah, d10 in the first two. Or d4 and just if it lands on 1.
That's
No.
not 20%.
Oh no, that's not
20%.
that's not
works.
20%. Okay, nope.
Time
I
to
was
roll the d5.
time to roll. I mean, I could. It's like I could type in /roll d5, but
Yeah.
I mean, it really doesn't matter.
Hey! no, it doesn't
No.
work because
No.
that is all right. Well then, I'm not gonna just keep trying that every day. So Instead,
Yeah.
the first day that since that failed the first time, I will use my staff's other property, which is to talk to the mother tree and get a vision and hopefully be able to stop them the next time they try and do that. Because I get divination as the spell.
I can just teach them
Yep.
the fear of God.
Also, there are a bunch of sprites in the forest.
Yeah.
Stopped you at the edge of the Fey
Oh.
part of it.
Oh yeah, I can
First time you visited.
get them to like let me know.
Yeah, funny thing about them, they're pretty good at tracking, and they're feeling rather murderous.
I kind of want to see if I can talk the adventurers down first, but I will 100% join in on that if they can't be talked down.
Look, as I said, you could just put the fear of God into them.
Yeah, I'm going to.
You're a level 20 adventurer, motherfucker!
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And the first time you just sort of pop up and make a display and say, hey, what do you think you're... Someone, they immediately shoot an arrow at you. They've apparently been hired not to talk to anyone.
Okay, yeah, I fucking murder them. Depending on how big the group is, I leave one alive, and I say, spread the word. Don't do that again.
Not gonna try to get any intel whatsoever?
Actually, yeah, I will leave one alive. Fuck, thank you. I'm a bit off because this is kind of just sprung on me. I will try and get intel on them. I will kill all but one of them and be like, hey, what are you doing?
Well, clearly they were not paid well enough for this. Sort of the problem with hiring murderous mercenaries. Is that, yeah, when they run into trouble, they flip. And, so, yeah, you get some names. You're really not sure how good they are, or whether it will stand up in court around here, but, well, you're friends with the head of state, and that probably counts for something.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly rule of law around here.
Also, I kind of want to take something that belongs to them, just in case they're lying, so that way I can tell them that if they are lying, I'll be able to find them, and they won't be able to run away.
All right. But you do end up having to be busy for a couple of weeks. There are a lot of various small mercenary bands and adventuring groups who are hired to clear out the Fey forest. And it does take some time to track them all down. The Royal Reserve is actually rather considerable. Grenache.
Mm-hmm.
One day, one of your students wakes you up and says, they're burning it.
Burning what?
The training space. It's burning down.
Grenache immediately gets up and rushes to survey the scene.
All right. It's the middle of the night. The whole building is on fire. Smoke is pouring out. Red flames licking up the sides. A fair number of people have already assembled in order to try and put it out. Doing the best they can with getting water from the nearest wells and fountains and carrying buckets over. But at this point, well, by the time they found it, the main concern was making sure the neighbor buildings didn't catch.
Yeah, understandable. So one of the times I used thaumaturgy, I called out, "Did anyone see who did this?"
It's a Dutch anarchist.
Unfortunately, no one present now was there when it first lit up. One person does mention that they were the first one to notice something, the smell of smoke, the hint of fire. By then, the building was fairly well lit up. And by the time they got enough help to do something, it was, well, too far gone.
I haven't gone on my way to make any enemies. The question is, who would do such a thing?
Well, once the smoke finally clears, the embers cool, and you are able to get inside the building, you notice that the large training square, sort of courtyard area at the center of it, has, well, it looks like it made it through the fire fairly intact. Some cracked stones, plenty of char and ash covering the surface, and as you brush some of it off, you notice that someone went through the bother of painting on the large stone. Clearing up some more, you see they've been painting words on it. Must have happened just before the fire, because you certainly don't remember putting these here. And it's a variety of just short, pithy phrases. Orcs go home. Okarans unwelcome. Stick colonialism up your ass.
Man, they're busting out the big words. Got six
I
syllables
can't
and everything.
believe these human supremacists are racist. Wow.
Wait, where is this exactly?
They are painted on the stone courtyard of the building.
No, where location-wise?
Yeah, where is this building?
Presumably a newly built building in Okar.
Yeah, newly purchased and repurposed building within the city limits, or near the near the outskirts at the very most.
Okay.
But yes, from the phrases, it's fairly clear that whoever did this thought of your new monk order as being an incursion by Okar into Relgoth.
That seems weird. But why would they think that?
Well, because the person in charge is from Okar. and-
Grenache is from Okar?
Yeah.
Originally on the borders of the Untamed Lands, but moved to Okar.
Okay. I didn't. Somehow I forgot that, I guess.
You were born on the Okar side of the border.
Yeah. Yeah, Grenache is puzzling about this. Like, why would they come this far into Okar territory when...
Wait. Sorry. Where is this exactly? Again? Is this in Vienna?
No, I'm just spitballing here, but my guess is where the Okar City is, it'd be just north of it, maybe on the border.
So wait, this school is in Okar City?
It's in Okar, not city, but Okar itself.
It's like
Wait,
near the border of Railgoth.
I'm so confused.
We are talking about the one you built in Vienna, and not the one that you're planning to build in Okar.
Okay, well, good thing I asked for clarification there, because it seems like people are on different pages about that.
Yeah, because some of your students came here to train with you, and because you wanted to stay here, you've arranged a building to train in here in Vienna.
Right.
While also corresponding with nobles on the Untamed Lands border to build a more permanent school down south.
Right. Okay. So yeah,
It's been a little while, I understand.
I mean, it's probably been several months at this point. But yeah, okay. Well, that makes more sense then. Yeah. That's just. He's just sighing. Okay, I wanted nothing to do with this. Was any lives taken by the fire?
Thankfully, there was no one in the building at night. The culprits obviously needed some time alone to scrawl all of these sayings onto the floor.
To be quite frank, their penmanship is terrible.
Yeah. That's sighs relief. Just glad that at least no lives were taken by this, but if this is the path they're taking, then it's getting out of hand. In response, he would ask anyone willing and able to keep a perimeter for the next week or two. Just keep an eye out for any movement. If anything gets spotted, alert Grenache right away.
All right.
This is a matter Grenache wants to take up personally.
Well, your building is not the last one that gets torched. Because not just a few days later, an inn which caters specifically to Okaran merchants as clientele lights up. This time the fire starts smaller, so it's able to be put out, but several of the people staying at the inn get a few lungfuls of smoke. And not all of them, depending on how alert you're being about this, not all of them would get out alive.
I mean, if there's going to be a bout of fires just starting up in targeted places, yeah, the moment he finds out that lives have been lost to this, Grenache is going to start searching. He's going to start searching for answers. Where, when, how, and why.
I assume that Aurelia would also, know about this and
Oh yeah.
be able to try to help with this. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's safe to assume Grenache and Aurelia would be in communication about this one.
Yeah, just jump in whenever you feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Aurelia is also going to be worried that this is all connected. Which is funny because she's never exactly been particularly pro Okar, but she ended up, if I remember correctly, the only reason that she ended up opening things up more with Okar was because the merchants demanded it, but evidently not all of them.
Well, no, some of the merchants have stronger ties up north rather than down south.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
also think of it more as doing right by people within your borders.
Now, but I I do think that presumably, as much as Aurelia is not super pro Okar, the merchants who are very pro Okar and deal with Okar a lot are presumably upset or worried about this turn of events. So
Pushed more into Aurelia's camp.
yeah, she's going to make sure that she's talking to the right people to try to ensure that she has a solid base of support if the conservatives make their move. And also, I think she would like to find out who this, distant cousin or whatever is that they're in communication with, because, deal with him and or her. I think, and that might help things too.
All right.
During that line of inquiry, Grenache would actually approach Aurelia about finding these things out.
Mhm.
And one day would be like, okay, they set fire to my dojo. I've been training people. No lives were lost there. I was willing to accept that it might have been a personal attack, but then they do this. People lose their lives.
It's clearly not a personal.
Yeah, once again, they
Obviously,
have anti-Okar graffiti is painted on the wall before the fire is set.
No, this is not by chance. This is not even spontaneous mob violence, in my estimation. This is a concerted political effort. Whether it is directly connected to the others, can't say for sure, but I would be willing to guess that there are links there.
Yeah, I would also.
At the very least.
I'd also, once I figured out what was going on in the forest, I would also show up and be like, hey, Aurelia, there's some fucking mercenaries hanging out in your forest and killing my friends, so,
So they turned violent then.
Well,
Do you have
my
any
friends
ideas?
are mostly Fae, so they probably didn't think we were actually fucked up, but...
On another level. Do we even know who's behind this?
I was given some names, and I also told the people that who gave me the names, if they were lying, I would find them and make sure that they would regret lying. But
Yeah, I mean, Aurelia has names as well, but not a lot of proof as of yet.
Oh, just wait. Your turn's coming.
Okay. Oh boy.
But yeah, and when you investigate the nobles, you find out that there's actually quite a lot of discontent between them. Like, as a class, nobles tend to be much more conservative than merchants.
Mm-hmm.
And so you quickly get the sense that, number one, pretty much all of the nobility in Viana has some relation, however distant, with the ruling house.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
And you quickly find the figurehead that they chose, but you also quickly notice that if you should happen to dispose of that person or convince them to call it off, they wouldn't have trouble finding another one.
All right. So they're really not, but I mean, that does mean that the genealogical argument can't be that strong then. Like what I was sort of worried about was if they were able to find the person, because I mean, Aurelia technically is illegitimate. Like, so there arguably is a legitimate heir out there according to the laws of succession, which would add a bit of credence. However, if it's just the sort of thing where it's like anybody who has a vague connection, they'll just take whoever it is. That's fine. I mean, not much you can do about that. But
yeah,
it's also a little less
something.
strong. Yeah, it's a little less strong than if they found, whoever would technically.
In this case, it's a matter of they are going to put someone in place, and at some point afterwards, discover a new genealogy that makes them a male heir, direct descendant of the original Aurelia.
Aurelio, I think. Wait, no, was it? No, it was Valerio. Was the god? No, yes, it was Valerio. Was the original
That one.
guy who was Lo Zaffarano, and then Aurelia the First was the one who established the. God, I made this whole
like none of this
thing.
matters. In the
I know.
scheme of things.
I came up with two different founders, one for the dynasty and one for the in the city itself. Anyway. Right, alright, well, not much to be done on that front then, so I guess it's just a matter of Aurelia trying to shore up the allies that she does have. And see what happens next. I mean, I hate to just be passive about it, but
I mean, we can't really do much more.
I mean, the only proactive things that are obvious would be, going after some of these people. But if Aurelia doesn't have enough evidence, I mean, that could just make her look like the aggressor and give them an excuse for what they're doing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I guess she'll just wait. She'll try to make sure, she's not caught by surprise. Try to keep an eye on the ringleaders.
Meanwhile, Grenache is probably going to go around and any Okar-based buildings in the region or anything related to Okar, he's going to request that there's people on watch to the best that they are able to have people on watch.
I figure you could organize something like a citizen watch, essentially something to supplement the guards who might be compromised, at least in part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And effectively, he would just want to make sure that no more lives are lost in this, because that's been his entire thing. It's no lives should be lost, all because of a political squabble or any kind of squabble.
Yes, an anti-flames brigade or anti-flaw, if you will.
I see what you did there.
Also, here's another idea. Whatever the next significant holiday or anything like that, any excuse really, Aurelia is going to make sure that there's an extra big celebration, because nothing gets the crowds on your side like a party.
Hearts and minds.
Mm-hmm.
Lily.
Oh boy.
So, there appear to be a lot more humans roaming around the Halfling Quarter these days.
Mm-hmm.
They're going around in groups, armed with clubs and shoving halflings around, just for the pure pleasure of causing harm.
They're putting things on the top shelf. How dare they?
Fucking okay. Yes.
Every night, it seems, you hear windows smash. And halflings are cornered and beaten.
Okay. So what you're saying is it's time to go on a warpath.
I'm saying your neighbors would not consider it unwelcome.
Yeah. Look, if there's anything Lily does, it's right by her own, and these halflings have been nothing but wonderful. Lily loves halflings. Fact. Everything's the right size.
So what in particular are you doing about it?
Oh, you know. Let's see. There are choices. I'm trying to figure out how murderous I want to get is the problem. Trying to be a better person, damn it. I'm trying. Some people make it so hard. Have any of the humans tried fucking with Lily at this point while going about her day to day? Or is someone going to, is what I should say.
I'd say you have that sort of death glare, and the fact that you are very heavily armed, and also famous for being a personal companion of the prince. I would say that the humans around here are smart enough not to pick a fight with you. And a few occasions when somebody goes, "Oh, a new goblin too," someone else always grabs their shoulder, goes, shakes their head, pulls them back.
I see. Have any of my neighbors been menaced yet then? Like, direct neighbors?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll start with them, and I'll ask them if they saw who it was, if at all possible.
They did, but often only some of them had met someone with enough recognizable features to really pick out of a crowd.
Okay.
Like a lot of the people roaming around here, you are fairly certain when they aren't idle and carrying clubs are probably just laborers, workers down by the docks, sailors on leave.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for one of them to split off and corner him and threaten him with bodily harm. Into telling me who's making them do this.
All right. Doesn't take much effort or many threats before they say that they are actually being paid to do this. That they certainly don't feel they owe the halflings anything, and they certainly enjoy doing this sort of thing, but at the same time, they normally don't have enough free time to actually get up to much mischief. And so they happily took the coin that was offered to them.
By whom? Who is it that's giving these idiots money?
Well, basically some rich guy.
Gonna see if you could possibly point me to where the rich guy is.
All right. So, just to do this the quick way, I would say that you certainly have enough skill in order to sort of shadow the gangs as they pick up their coin, and then shadow the paymaster as he heads back to the place where he lives, which is one of the merchant estates in town.
Okay. So this merchant's paying people to harass everyone around me, eh?
No, just halflings.
Well, yes. That's what I mean. Look, I live in the halfling quarter. Everyone around me is a halfling, okay?
Well, clearly these people are paying other people to do other things.
Yes, obviously. Either way, I'm going in there, and I am going to menace a noble. Well, not a noble, but a rich merchant. Basically the same thing.
Yeah. This really depends on when and how they get their money. Anyway, so, yeah, you, at this point, sneaking into a wealthy merchant's estate is old hat. Something that you can do for fun just to challenge yourself, rather than anything with any real stakes or problems.
Probably don't even need the case to join anymore.
Can just go in.
Just go in.
And so I will say that the merchant is certainly discontent about the way things are going, but not to the point of actually wanting to sacrifice his life for it. So why don't you make it clear that those are his options? He starts explaining his part in what's been going on. Just bankrolling discontent, riling things up, making things just pitch more towards violence so that the people would be more on board with a equally violent takeover once the time comes.
Now, is he working directly under anyone, or is this just part of, like...
Well, it's not under anyone so much as it is just a collaboration.
Oh, okay, then I can make him hurt. I don't care if he doesn't care, like, if he's spilling the beans. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to break all of his fingers. All of them.
See, at least I made my deaths relatively painful.
And I will cut off an ear.
Jesus.
Fear is a very important tool.
Please don't tell Aurelia that you did this.
Oh god, no. Why would she do that? No.
Although I can see her going, like, look what I've got.
No, she's tossing that fucking ear. That's dirty as hell. That's gross.
Yeah. And one thing that Lily does certainly get is a paper trail.
Good. This is what I want. This, though, I will bring to Aurelia. Because I'm good at making individuals bleed. Aurelia can just fuck over a lot at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and the justice system does not yet know about tainted evidence, so...
Nope.
Fruit from the poison tree? Nah, it's still good.
Look, who's gonna fuck with the craziest motherfucker in the room, really?
I mean, to be fair, actually, this would presumably be the equivalent of like a civil law jurisdiction where fruit from the poison tree doctrine does not exist, and evidence obtained by illegal means can still, at least under some circumstances, be admissible in court. The person is just who had the evidence obtained from them illegally is just potentially due compensation for it, but they can still go to prison or whatever based on that evidence. It's kind of fucked up. What were we talking about?
You having a paper trail now.
Right. Perfect. Okay.
And me scaring a man.
Yes. All right. So, okay. What can I do with this exactly? We haven't really talked a lot about the justice system of Vienna.
I am personally in favor of very public justice. Personally.
Mm-hmm. So sorry, what is the evidence exactly that you...
A paper trail regarding the merchants who've been inciting violence and stirring shit.
But is there actual physical evidence? Like you've
Yeah,
got
a
okay.
literal paper trail.
Okay, you've got the literal paper trail. Okay,
yeah.
cool. All right. So, yeah, like I said, we haven't really gone into a lot of detail about how the justice system works in Vienna, but this is basically treason. Or at least arguably treason. I don't know. I mean,
No,
It is
it's
essentially-
actively treason.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're trying to stage a coup.
well,
Yeah.
yes, but does the paper trail does the paper trail contain evidence as to their motivation for doing this? Because just doing this in and of itself is not necessarily treasonous. Obviously, we know that there's a treasonous purpose behind it, but
Well, let's just say that you don't need to reach reasonable doubt.
that's true. Okay. Don't we? I feel like Vienna has a pretty evolved, in that regard. I mean, even though, you know what? Let's not get into that.
But I'm just saying, if you don't act on it, Lily will, and nobody will.
In that case, yes, Aurelia is going to act on this, though,
The fact that the
because
merchants have their own power base means you have to satisfy them as to just how treasonous their fellow merchants are being.
Mhm.
But if you can clear that hurdle with enough of them, then they would stand aside and let you purge their ranks.
Sure. All right. Well, then I'm going to go for it. And because either this works and I get to purge these fuckers one way or another. I mean, it's treason, so that's probably a capital crime.
Look, you gotta be public about it.
Or exile it at least. Yeah, so and alternatively, it could force them to act before they're ready, which, in that case, we just put down the rebellion and have even more power to destroy our enemies. So yeah, let's move forward with this.
At the very least, their ranks are being thinned in the forest. So
I will present this evidence before the Concilio.
Okay, but the ranks being thinned are mostly just individuals being hired on.
Yeah.
Be like Lily and just go to their estates and fucking torture them.
no.
Okay,
Well, the ranks of these soldiers they planned on using for the coup were the ones being thinned in the forest.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So yeah, really, we'll present the evidence to the Concilio and see what happens, basically.
All right, and thanks to your combined statesmanship and public speaking ability, you fairly convincingly make the case that their actions and their intents amount to treason. And you do note that several of the people whose names you name immediately try to turn around and say that they were coerced or that they were working or actually working with the prince this whole time to gather evidence. And
Look, treason's treason. One
what?
fell swoop.
I don't know how that defense is going to work. But...
well, it's essentially up to you.
Got a clean house.
I see. Oh, they're giving me a way. Okay,
They're basically immediately trying to jump ship. Now that the ship is sinking.
I'm not going to let anyone get away with saying, "Oh, actually, they were working for me." Whatever. I will, promise leniency to those who are willing to name further names, as it were. Because I'm more than happy to have them flip on each other. Sorry?
That is going to be tainted evidence, though. They're
Why?
going to name as many names as they can.
Oh, I mean, sure, but I mean there are ways of making it has to be corroborated by okay.
There's a spell called Zone of Truth.
Yeah, there are ways of investigating I assume that I'll be able to figure out if they're just lying. Obviously, I will say, if you present false evidence to try to clear yourself, then that is not going to help. And I guess some of them could take the risk and try to give me names that aren't really involved. But if they get found out,
he can actually use all the truth.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is Aurelia wants to root out absolutely anyone who is involved with this. And she is willing to be lenient with some of them if they are willing to provide new and useful information that can also be corroborated, or, we can be certain that it's true.
Yeah. Prove it with a good old-fashioned zone of truth.
Yeah, that would be good.
Incidentally, the person who casts Zone of Truth always knows when someone succeeds in a saving throw against it.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense. So it's like it can fail, but it can't fail in a way that you think that it's worked. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, and Grenache is certainly on board after what's been happening in the streets and to the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And the process does take some time. And at one point, the remainder who is still free get desperate and try and pull the trigger, but because Blake has been thinning out the number of mercenaries they hired, their effort to a small mob of relative professionals who are unfortunately unable to defeat even just the regular guards of your estate.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think they thought this through.
Surely we can go up against 4 level 20 adventurers.
To be fair, they definitely weren't expecting the psychotic goblin.
That is fair.
I mean, it could have been.
Surprisingly, Lily was the linchpin of all of this. All right. Well, yeah. So I don't know. Aurelia is going to be true to her word. Those who do provide useful information that's corroborated and stuff, she will be a bit more merciful towards.
They won't die.
I don't. Yeah. So I'm not sure about capital. I don't think Aurelia is necessarily fond of the idea of executing people. I don't know to what extent.
But this is also an extreme situation.
Yeah, I mean, it is treason, which is in a society like this, is literally the worst possible crime.
There's a reason Dante put it at the base of hell.
Yeah. So I guess the way I'll put it is, if there is like an expectation in the society that Aurelia will execute at least some of these people, then she will go along with it. I mean, she is lawful.
At a minimum, the ringleaders, yeah.
Yeah. But for others, she will. I mean, frankly, she will be more inclined for most of them to do something like, seize all their assets and exile them, which is also a pretty harsh punishment. But at least they're not dead.
They're going to be, though.
Yeah.
At least they get to walk away with something. And most of them are merchants, so they actually leaving to go somewhere else is relatively easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they won't be welcomed back.
See, I just figured dropping them off at the border.
Well,
That's what you want in Melgoth, right?
There's a port in town. You can just ship them off.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun with the elves.
And any who were like particularly helpful and seem like they are,
contrite or actively were coerced.
Yes, those ones that Aurelia will be genuinely merciful towards, and probably
grant them pardons.
Yeah, be willing to pardon them, with certain expectations that they be very loyal Bill going forward, obviously. Yeah.
Get a weak hook on them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, okay. So I don't know if there's any other decisions Aurelia has to make about all that, but
No,
that's basically going to be her approach.
that was essentially it for the Between Adventures stuff.
Nice.
I'm glad I got to hurt someone.
This does mean that your next stop is Sigil.
This is supposed to be
And I will
perfectly
say
right. Oh, there
that-
we go. Okay.
Takes a little time. You are free to bring along anyone you wish.
Gotta bring our boy Lorem. He wouldn't miss this for the world.
Yeah, I think Laura would love to
well,
Except
fucking.
for Harvey, who once again is... Harvey is once again not coming. Gith are still in the city and
I miss
still
Harvey.
just attack him.
Pouring out for your boy Harvey.
Yeah.
I doubt Laura would want to miss
well,
the chance to meet the Lady of Pain.
We literally would not be able to stop Lorem.
Lorem
As
might not be able to take on one of us by himself anymore, but like the minute we say, hey, you're not able to go meet the Lady of Pain, he suddenly gains like 40 levels and just annihilates us all.
He also just... yeah, but...
yeah, as always, Aurelia will invite Silky to come if she wants, but not try to make her.
Yeah, she certainly wants to see the city of Sigil.
All right.
Doesn't know too much about the Lady of Pain aside from anything you've told her, but sounds exciting.
Yes, I make sure to fill her in on the rules about not calling her a god and whatever the other rules.
Basically,
That's
don't
sort
worship
of
her.
the big one. Yeah, the other thing is just don't make a tremendous mess in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Also, do not shit talk her.
Right. Well, I mean, that kind of goes for anyone in a position of power. You generally don't want to shit talk them to their face.
No, like not even
to her face.
Not even to her face, because if she hears about you shit talking her, she will come and you will find yourself in her shadow.
Well, okay, but yes, that also kind of goes for anyone in their place of power. You don't want to shit talk them to people who might or who
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
The thing worth considering here is that the Lady of Pain appears to be omniscient, and therefore any shit talking you have to presume would be to her face.
Right. Anyway, we have no reason to shit talk her because she's been fairly helpful so far.
Has she?
Well, I mean, I guess presumably. I mean, we're presuming that she is.
Set us on a path, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, and we got more
She
powerful.
told you to do a thing. Four
Yes.
things.
Yes,
And
which
you have done
hasn't
those things.
actually-
worked out well for us. We've got lots of powers because of that.
Yeah, but
That's
that
good.
wasn't directly her doing.
I'm just saying. It worked out.
It worked out, but she hasn't done
So
anything.
yeah, let's go back. And I mean, last time we were just sort of sitting around when Dobby the Daubus came and found us, right?
Yes, you had gotten directions from a tout to the nearest decent tavern. You'd gotten yourselves a drink. Adabas had just floated in and told you the lady's edict.
All right. So I'm guessing that if we just go back and hang out, eventually one will find us. Although I suppose we could also try to seek out Adabas.
Yeah. Well, when you find another tout, say it's not really that hard to find them. They're just sort of roaming through the streets, doing repairs, tearing down Razorvine, building new walls, that sort of thing. I mean, you're not going to just sit at a corner and see three Dabuses in every direction, but they're around.
These
And,
Starbucks, they're like Starbucks and Sigil.
as soon as you mention that you want to find, and just as soon as you mention that this is all to find the Lady of Pain, the Count makes an excuse and leaves.
Well, let's go to a tavern and have a drink. See if Adolbus approaches us, and if not, we can go out and find one.
I'm betting if we just stand around in one place long enough, they'll be like, "Oh, hey, you're back, and you've gained 4
Okay, but we-
levels."
Could go shopping. Or stop Lorem from shopping.
We could also go shopping. That is true.
And stop Lorem from shopping. This is the very important part if we go shopping.
You're the one who gets all the souvenirs. Why are you complaining about me?
I've seen what you try to buy. I've seen it. Cloud in a jar, really?
Well, yes, it's quite fascinating. Conversation starter.
What conversation are you going to have over a cloud in a jar?
Oh my god.
Have you ever
Oh,
met?
would you
have you
look
ever
at the weather? Oh.
Well, yes.
No.
It's. Many of my students think it's clever.
No, they don't. They're humoring you because you grade them.
No, I'm pretty sure they actually do. Because, listen, anyone who wants
Have
to
you
go,
considered that his students might also be nerds?
yeah, I think anyone who wants to go learn through Lorem is gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna
be-
say, yeah, you know what, you're right. Lorem's classes have gotta be incredibly dense.
Yeah.
You're there because you like it.
Now the question is if I would be for the magical energy or the brain power.
Anyway, enough shitting on Lorem, our friend.
He can buy what he wants. It's his money to waste.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. And as you're discussing and walking, you do eventually spot Adabas, who is standing at the entrance to an intersection, essentially. By that I mean that. No, but by that I mean that they are on like the near side of where the streets cross.
All right.
And this one has clearly been waiting for you.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, let's go talk to it. And
Yeah, let's go say hi.
by
Yeah.
talk, I mean whatever weird communication they do. I kind of forget how it works
Yeah,
exactly.
let's say hi. It's fine. We can still talk like people.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
Rebus symbols appear above their head,
Mhm.
and by figuring them out, you can tell that it says, "Welcome back."
thank you.
Thank you.
It's exactly as much of a shithole as I remember.
For once, Aurelia is not going to introduce herself because she is willing to accept that yes, this Davis does know who she is and also probably does not care.
I don't think anyone we've ever met has ever cared, but
The lady has been pleased by your efforts. However, there is one ancient brethren you have yet, who has yet to test you.
God damn it.
Who is that?
She will not speak to you in person until you have succeeded.
God damn it.
However, unlike most of those she consigns, she does wish for you to succeed. Therefore, I have been authorized to provide you with a hint. Like every other portal in the City of Doors, yours has a lock and a key. Each of your keys lies within The lock for all is at the center. Good luck. And without a further rebus, the Dobus pivots and floats away through one of the cross streets. And at
Okay.
this point, you notice that you can't see anyone else on the streets around you.
Yeah, I
Finally.
remember the last time Arebus talked to us and was like, "Hey, you can go meet the Lady
Davos.
of Pain." Yeah, Davos. Like, "Hey, you can go meet the Lady of Pain if you do this stuff." Like, everybody just like fucking vanished.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, it's quiet.
That was a
So-
confusing hint.
The keys
That
are
was
within.
cryptic as hell.
Keys are within, and the lock for all is at the center.
Can't wait to go to the center of the city.
And when you look to say this to your companions, you notice everyone else has vanished.
Oh,
Each of you is alone.
Finally.
And now I'm going to switch the music.
Oh no.
I think I never loaded up the music this time.
Oh well, got the
It's
music
just
now.
Soothing Italian music.
I forgot to set it to loop was my issue.
I did not, and I'm glad I did not. It was nice.
Listen to this on good speakers. Oh yeah.
Nuclear winter, or on headphones.
Just gonna go play Stalker now later.
What is this introduction? What is shrimp step?
Shrimp stab.
What?
They aren't good. For dark ambient. The same is true.
Thank you for like the minute-long audio file bullshit rant.
Someone's really angry about speakers.
Seriously though, what is shrimp step?
I don't know. What the fuck is shrimp step? Please, someone, please tell me.
Well, I think that's going to be the title for this video.
Hmm.
Okay, so each of us are looking around and we're literally just by ourselves.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
God damn it. Tired of this cryptic bullshit.
how about we all roll d20s to see what order I move through people?
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Oh boy.
All right. While Grunesh and Torpo are going, I'm going to go use the restroom again.
Yeah, wait, is it highest to lowest or lowest to highest?
Highest
I
the
assume
lowest.
highest to lowest, yeah.
Okay.
Initiative order.
Aurelia's gonna go see if she can find a drink in an empty tavern while she waits. Not really. I know that this is all happening simultaneously.
Casually getting fucking hurled into one of the Lady of Pain's mazes. God damn it.
Grunesh,
Mm-hmm.
after a few steps, you find yourself not where you were, but in what appear to be the underworks of the city. As vast, craggy rocks rise up towards the sky, and simple wooden structures hang precariously, rising up out of a darkness you cannot see the bottom of, towards a sky that only provides a tiny inkling of light far above you. In all directions, pathways crisscross up and down, side to side. There isn't a single other living soul in sight.
I would question what manner of magic this is, but it won't avail me. Key on the inside. Lock at the heart. Ash takes another look around to see if there's anything that particularly stands out at all.
Not particularly, no. But there do appear to be ladders and ramps and staircases, along with the precarious platforms and very troublingly vibrating bridges. You could go in any direction from here.
Seems whichever way I go here is going to be precarious. How it wasn't something internal, was it?
Sorry, were you asking me a question?
It's more asking himself, but if Temper or God wants to intervene, then they're more than welcome to.
Well, that is actually the thing. Temper isn't there.
Temper, he checks him. Grenache checks himself a few times. Just again. Do I still feel the connection?
It still feels like you have a connection to Temper, but any possible means of communication have been blocked. She's somewhere around here, but it's impossible to say how far away.
Well, at least wherever she is, she's probably safe. They like I will not need her help either. I would not be sent here without a reason. Surely it can't be as simple as just finding a lock and key. Grenache actually starts to wonder if the words that were said, if they were relating to some method of looking inward and opening yourself up in some way to some potential, or if it happens to be some other meaning to it.
Well, all you can really say right now is that you're frustrated and you're not really calming down about this. Feels like the longer you think about this, the more upset you're getting. One thing you can say for certain, though, is that by sitting in place, you're getting nowhere fast.
Ganesh just shakes his head of his thoughts, starts looking up, and starts looking for ways to climb.
Okay, you need to be careful with the lizard men with blow darts specifically. They're the ones you prioritize.
Well, thankfully, climbing up is not really a problem. The construction of these structures is so rough that pretty much any of the giant tree trunks used as supports is rough enough to be climbable or has enough cross beams tied against them that you can easily just swing your way up.
It's a climber's paradise.
One or another of them will occasionally snap off just out of weakness, but you can catch yourself before impaling yourself on the broken or sharpened spikes that rise up to surround the platforms below you.
If you really want to have a challenge with it, you should encase your lower body in a cauldron and then just use a sledgehammer to climb up.
Man, I can't believe this guy is 4 feet tall. This tiny manlet of a man.
Lily.
Yes, ooh. Okay, no, this is straight up from fucking Dark
Yeah, this is Dark Souls
3.
3. This is Dark Souls 3. This is like the first area of Dark Souls 3.
Yeah. The Blood Souls games have the right kind of atmosphere I'm going for.
Okay.
Okay, no,
So
I
maybe
get
the first
that.
one actually was legitimately Blight Town concept art.
But yes, Lily, when you round the corner, you find yourself on the battlements of a city that seems to rise out of nothing below you. Well, perhaps not nothing, because you hear the occasional crash and rumble echoing up the sides of the walls that you're standing on. And the air smells thick with the brine of salt and dead fish.
God damn it, it's an ocean castle. Never trust an ocean castle.
To either side, you see an incredibly vast castle, city, both, neither.
Castletown.
Either way, it continues on in every direction from where you're standing. Somehow even back the way you came.
God damn it, I am sick as shit of being jerked around by gods. Fucking god damn it.
Literally.
Every other goddamn day this shit keeps happening. So yeah, I'm gonna start moving around the castle, seeing what I can see for the time being.
All right.
Knowing full well I'm not gonna get anywhere.
Well, just like Grunesh, you don't see or hear any other person around. Nothing but these incredibly pointy battlements all around you. Towers and spires, as far as the eye can see. Spikes containing what appear to be human corpses, dummies, desiccated bodies. You might find out if you decide to get close enough.
Yeah, sure, I'll go check out one of the bodies.
All right. You gingerly touch one of the legs that emerges from the massive spike, and it just snaps off in your hand.
Okay.
If this was a person, they weren't a person for a long time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna toss it into the water.
And you chuck it over the side of the wall. You don't even hear it land.
Sorry, it's right as you said that there was that weird rumbling in the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that was just me or my ears fucking up.
Yeah, no, it made me fucking not jump, but uneasy for a hot second.
Yeah, I was like, are my ears just shitty or?
Nope, that was from the track.
Yeah.
It was just beautifully timed. Yeah, there we go. There it is again. It doesn't feel good on my ears. It doesn't.
It really doesn't.
It feels uncomfortable.
Because it's not supposed to feel nice.
Yeah, why don't you go listen to some shrimp stuff if you want to feel nice?
Yeah, shit, you're right. I should listen to some fucking shrimp stuff. Okay, can I see any way up? Or is it just, like, running around at this point?
At various points, you have opportunities to take stairs or follow along walls that lead up rather than down.
Yeah, I'll see what happens as I get as high as I can. Once again, knowing full well I'm not going to get anywhere.
Well, the thing is that the higher you go, the more visible castle is below you, the more sense of vertigo you're starting to feel. A real sense of unease in the pit of your stomach. You thought you'd conquered that feeling long ago, but it's risen back up with a vengeance now. You actively feel worried about what would happen if you fell from such a height. And some part of you wonders what it would feel like to do so.
Ah, yes, everyone's favorite feeling. Everyone loves the call of the void, right? Right. I'm gonna take a minute to calm down and center myself before continuing to move upwards. Because clearly if I feel so intensely uncomfortable, something might come of this.
Well, that's the thing, is that when you back away from the ledge, you do feel calmer. But the moment you return, so does that feeling. Moving on.
Oh, I know. I actually know this area. I've played far enough into Dark Souls 3 that I know which one this is.
It's not that far in.
It's not that far in. I did not get very far in Dark Souls 3, but I still know where this is.
Lake, you find yourself in a warren of streets that separate a number of poorly made, poorly maintained buildings. It reminds you of the kind of place you lived back when you lived at the orphanage. The rooftops barely holding together that might collapse the next time someone runs across them. The stone walls that are crumbling with each day, making you wonder if today's the day when one of the stones will fall and cave in your skull, or the skull of someone you know. With some of the buildings leaning over, slowly succumbing to mud and shifting foundations. And at some point, surely, one of them is going to topple over and crush whoever is unlucky enough to have been trying to get past the narrow alleyway behind the building. Like with the others, not a soul is in sight aside from yourself. And your skin is back to normal. The staff is out of your hand. All connection to otherworldly beings that you are familiar with are gone.
Oh, so I can't even cast Fly. I would not be able to cast that.
No.
Do I still have my connection to, like, my to my angelic, like, abilities to draw into that? Do I still have the ability to tap into that? Because that doesn't come from a otherworldly being. That comes from, like, just being an ASMR.
Yes. Your nature has not changed, but any connection it gave you to anyone else is gone.
Okay. That's mostly what I was looking for, just in case I need to go angel mode for whatever reason. I'm not going to waste it just to fly up to survey. Be on the safe side. Err on the side of caution here. But, yeah, I guess I'll start moving through this place. I think I can move through it, like, twice as fast as... Yeah, I can move twice as fast through urban areas as normal, but I don't think that really applies here, especially since going fast would probably actually be building down around. That's probably the not correct idea.
Well, I will say that your experience with this sort of building allows you to know which small alleys would result in dead ends, which buildings are more likely to collapse than others. So you do get through the area with some skill, but sadly does not seem to get you anywhere in particular.
Is there any sort of, like, distinguishable landmark that I can see, or is it all same rickety sort of type building.
You do pick out a stone tower, much like the one in the image here. You are able to navigate the nearby streets, get to the base of it, and then you start moving away from it. And then you discover that either the same one or a very much identical copy rises out of the warren of streets ahead of you.
Is there any way inside the stone tower?
There is, but it is also half collapsed. As is the staircase as you peer inside.
I'm trying to fly towards the top of the tower. It's as far up as I can. Minute to get. You know what? I'll actually try and do that. I'll tap into my angelic power, what I affectionately call Hulk out mode, and try flying up towards the top to see what else I can see. With that one, I'm not sure if it would matter at all, but I do have a fly speed of 30 feet, which means I can dash at 60 or 60 feet, and it lasts a minute.
All right. Well, no arrows fly out of the city as you rise up. Figures step out of one of the windows to swing a weapon at you. You safely make your way up to the top floor, settle down on it, and see that there is a network of identical stone towers extending out in every direction for as far as the polluted haze allows you to see.
Does it look like there's any sort of pattern, or like they might be making some sort of like huge ass like arcane symbol that something, or is it just random?
Make an Arcana check.
Question. I don't get advantage on this because I don't have foresight, because that's part of my warlock shit, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just
Foresight is not functioning.
Okay, just making sure. You said Arcana, correct?
Yes.
All right. That's a 21.
You don't know too much about magic, but you're pretty sure that a bunch of stone towers in this configuration isn't set up to do anything.
So it's not like a huge magic ritual that's going on. It's just weirdly duplicated towers all over. Got it. Aside,
So Ubisoft game, really.
yeah, pretty much. Is there anything else that I see aside from the towers?
More buildings, more randomly placed gateways, everything crumbling. Nothing that you haven't already seen from ground level. Just an incredible amount of it.
What about inside the tower? Is there anything inside the tower?
Well, you look inside and you look up, looks like there is a space where a bell could be, but isn't. Like there's this big, half-rotted wooden beam that is split down the middle and just sort of leaning downwards, not yet fallen out, not yet fallen apart. But any bell that must have been on that beam clearly was removed a long time ago. Looking down through a hole where the rope would probably hang, you see a mostly empty interior. A staircase, some of which is still intact, heads around the outside of the building, of the inside of the building, spirals up. Not much else.
Part of me wants to connect to the bell because you brought a lot of attention to it. Another part of me thinks the GM part of me knows that if I connect to that, it is probably absolutely the wrong thing you don't want me to connect to. But there's no rope that would be connected to where the bell used to be, correct? That is gone.
The hole is present, the rope is not. Likely it would have been removed with the bell.
Yeah.
And while you're pondering that, Aurelia.
Mm-hmm.
Aw, Aurelia gets Bloodborne, come on!
You find yourself...
That's appropriate, because I've just been playing Bloodborne for the first time.
It's real good.
Yeah.
I've played it too many times.
You find yourself in an abandoned part of Sigil that looks eerily like Viana to you. Except that this is a Viana of your nightmares. This is a place where the buildings are not kept in good condition, where the streets are overrun with weeds and bent fencing, where the sides are covered in barred windows and hanging cages, some full of some humanoid-looking figures that don't. There's aside from little debris, possibly left over from the previous inhabitant. The streets are narrow. It's hard to see very far in any particular direction. The buildings are too tall to look over. And most of the doors barred and locked. Certainly not easy to open. At least not with your set of skills.
Yeah, well,
the magic fingers.
I assume everybody inside is going to be a jerk anyway. I look for the one nice Scottish guy. No. Well, okay, first things first. I need to roll around into any debris looking for secrets. Okay, no, seriously though. Alright, so first things first. I assume, like with everybody else, anything connected to... So, like, Aurelia wouldn't have red hair or anything like that. And I assume... Would she not have the rod at all, or would the rod just not do anything connected to Onos?
The rod is with you, and the rod is active, but your contact with Onos is sporadic at best, and at the moment he certainly isn't active now.
Okay. But my regular magic works, yes? Or no?
Yes, you
Okay.
cast a cantrip or two, and nothing unusual happens.
All right. So right now she can't see much because of the buildings are tall and streets are narrow, right? So I guess if I want to look around and get a better view, perhaps I will use polymorph on myself and turn into a giant eagle so that I can fly for an hour, or as long as I want to, basically. And try to, get up on top of get up above the buildings, see what I can see in the distance, see how far out this stretches.
All right. You actually have trouble lifting off.
Oh shit.
The buildings are so close together that you cannot make full use of your wingspan.
Oh, I should have been a smaller eagle.
Could have been like a bee.
Well, I mean, okay, so if I had known that, I guess I could just cast it again if I need to. But can I just be a smaller bird instead?
Yes.
Okay.
But you do need to mark both of those off. You would not have necessarily known they were too narrow for an eagle.
All right, that's fair. I assume I'm not going to be getting into a big combat or whatever. So, all right, turn myself into a hawk or something.
All right, regular-sized hawk.
Yeah. They have good eyesight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, most birds do.
Yeah.
And so, you turn yourself into a regular hawk. Once again, you have some difficulty lifting off.
A large hawk the size of a small hawk.
In this case, it's not because the alleyways are too narrow, it's simply because the air is thick and heavy. You have to exert yourself, push yourself through it.
Okay. Well, I'll try to at the very least get on top of one of these buildings to try to get a bird's eye view, so to speak.
All right, and what we see is a city stretching out in every direction. Without the curvature that Sigil had. Instead, just straight and flat for as far as you can see, which isn't all that far, actually. The dismal haze in the air, limiting visibility.
Place has terrible draw distance.
The smell of smoke and rot
Beef up your machine.
fill your nostrils, both before and after you change into an animal.
Cast download more RAM.
Well, this is a bit of a puzzle. So, what was the hint again? The key is within us.
He's inside. He's inside
you.
us, and then the lock is in the center.
The lock is in the center.
Each key is inside.
Right. And there's one lock in the center.
Lock for all is in the center.
The center of what? Because this place doesn't look like it has a center. Looks like it stretches
This is a world where
forever.
center is relative.
Is there anything in any particular direction that draws my eye especially. Like anything that stands out that looks worthy of further exploration.
Roll a perception check using the hawk stats.
Sure. Let me pull up hawk stats.
Keen sight, you have perception 4 and advantage.
Okay. That's fair enough. I'll just do it like that. Okay, so 22.
Periodically, you find lighter spots within the maze of passageways and alleys. As if there are torches placed here and there, just as markers, perhaps.
Down closer to the ground?
As you sit and as you stare, you notice that one of the lights might be moving.
Huh. Well, that's... this is like on the ground or towards the ground?
Yes.
Okay.
You
Well, that
can't
seems...
see the source of the light because the buildings are too high to get a
Right.
clear line of sight, but
well, that seems promising. Let's fly in that direction, assuming it's not too difficult. If it is too difficult, then I guess Aurelia will just land and turn back into a person and try to walk over there.
it is tiring. But it's also a lot faster than walking,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot surer. That's also important.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you alight on one of the many sort of poles that the hanging cages are hanging from. And from there you can see down and see the source of the light, which is a man in strange clothing, clearly some sort of armor, but from a different source of a different kind of armor, you would say. It's a bit hard to figure out particulars as a hawk. But he does have a light, and he does seem to be looking around occasionally as he trudges forward.
Is he armed?
Yes.
He's got two of them.
All right. Well, I'll take my chances. Aurelia will fly down near him and change back, and then try to speak to him.
In front of or behind?
Behind, and then she'll call out for his attention, I guess.
All right. You land behind him, dropping down through his vision level on the other side of him. Transform back into Aurelia, and now that you have your mind fully back, you actually recognize the outfit. It's not an you don't recognize the specific person necessarily, but this is clearly the kind of armor they wear over in North Cologia.
Is it the dude?
The dude.
The dude whose name I forget, who disappeared all that time ago?
No,
It's the dude.
He had a really good rug that brought the whole room together. That's the dude.
Yeah. Okay. So he probably speaks common then, right? Because they speak the same language. So she will greet him in common then and say, hello, sir. May I speak with you?
At that, he immediately spins around, one hand on his sword, which is sheathed at his waist, the other one holding the lantern. It appears that the lantern is hanging from sort of a stick, and he's holding the stick forward, as if fending you off using the lantern. Who's there? Who are you?
I am Aurelia de Tefrani.
Stop. You don't remember the end of that sentence.
Shit.
You get
What?
to I am and forget the rest. You know you're important. You know you're the something of somewhere. But that's it.
Oh my god.
Finally!
This truly is Aurelia's worst nightmare.
Praise be! The gods have provided.
I am afraid I do not recall at this very moment. I'm not sure why. That seems very strange. But I assure you, I come in peace. I just wish to speak with you. Here's a question.
I can tell you who
sorry.
I am.
Who are you?
I am Vang Brintel. Of Vang Dynasty. Of the Vang Empire.
Ah,
I have been searching for a way out of this place for
It is him. It's the guy.
yeah.
a long time.
The guy.
Yes, that does not surprise me, actually. Or wait, okay, does Aurelia remember everything else? Is there anything else she doesn't remember? Like, did she remember this guy? Like, not him, like, obviously she
Yeah.
didn't meet him, but the whole story.
Yeah. You remember
Okay.
the story about him. You still have all your skills, you still have all your magic. But anything connected to your ancestry, it's just vague. It's like
Alright.
a sheet has been pulled over it, and all you can see are vague shapes beyond it.
Alright, well... okay, I will explain to him. Yes, I wondered if it might be you. I was in your homeland, in the Gold Empire. Is that what it's called? I helped a relative of yours, in fact, and
That is good. Then I request that you
would
help
be-
me now. Take my lantern, hold it out in front for me. That way I can use my sword with both hands.
This is what you get for skirting around the point.
All right. Well, you know what? Sure.
on.
Aurelia's not going to push it. This guy's being kind of rude, but under the circumstances, she can't remember who
Ma'am,
she
hold
is.
my
so.
lantern. I need my thwacking arm.
Very well, but I must inform you that I am myself I mean, I really remember she's a noble, yes? Does she remember
No.
that much at least? No. Okay. Okay, well, you know, she's like,
Pretty sure you're important.
yes,
You
I
have your pride, but you don't remember why.
suppose, but yes, I'm sure that we can each aid each other in finding a way out of this place.
Indeed.
But can you?
And once we are out of here, I promise I will make you my personal servant. It will be a
well,
great honor.
I appreciate that. Unfortunately, I have responsibilities of my own once I
Nothing
leave
you
here.
cannot set aside, I am sure.
Well, no, I mean it involves saving the entire world from a being of pure entropy. So, I mean, I can't really set it aside. Anyway, you know what? That's not important. We can discuss it more once we get out of here. So she will take the lantern and play along, but she will then start asking him questions, like about this place, how long he's been here, like what he's seen and done here, etc.
I've only been here for 3 days.
Well, get more into the answers later.
Sure.
Because right now we're switching back to Grenache.
Stuck in the jungle gym.
Grenache, at one point you eventually climb up into a platform that has sort of been turned into a hut. A set of wooden structures, platforms have been torn up and just sort of placed on their side to create an enclosure. Pretty significantly sized enclosure. Pretty significantly horribly smelling enclosure. And you can hear grunts and coughs and burps coming from somewhere inside. And from the way that the shadows are moving, someone is sitting at a fire. Someone big.
It's me, sorry. I was cold.
Grenache takes a look around again, but seeing nothing else that has caught his attention so far, he looks back to the building and then calls in Orcish, going, "Is everything right in there?"
Hey! Somebody out there! Show yourself. Get around here. I ain't getting up.
Is that also in Orcish or is it common?
Also in Orcish.
Okay, Grenache nods and makes his way inside.
Alright, you go around the side of the platform segments to a space that is wide enough to get through. And inside you see this monstrous ogre. And when I say monstrous, I mean not just like huge, but also somewhat disfigured, corpulent, just so much physical mass that it's kind of hard to imagine how he can move around. Also, his nose and his ears have turned black and look like they might be peeling off. It certainly smells horrible around him.
So Nurgaloga got it.
Like, you smelled him when you were still climbing up to this platform, and now that you've got a clear line of sight from him, it is almost overwhelming. The smell of just BO, feces, rotting urine, rotting food. Whatever illness is inside of him is also putting off its own unique addition to this fetid scent. And the moment he looks at you, he smiles with big rotting teeth. Says, "Oh, one of the green folk. I thought maybe you were talking in the green folk tongue." Well, haven't seen 11 folk I haven't decided to eat in some time now. And lucky for you, I'm feeling a bit more like conversation than food. Maybe you'd like to sit a spell. We'll enjoy each other's company.
Well, misunderstandings aside,
It's not just a misunderstanding. He's a terrible person. He's horrible. He doesn't deserve patience or calmness. You feel this sense welling up inside of you, that orcish passion. You just can't seem to get a handle on it right now. You want to respond as loudly and aggressively as he deserves.
am I able to pick up on the fact that this is happening?
Yes.
Or is it just something I'm...
You are able to pick up on the fact that this is happening, but you are not able to do anything about it. The sense of calm and peace that you have meditated over for years of your life is out of your grasp. It is simply gone. Only the passion remains.
As much as he tries to fight it then, as much as he tries to not utter a word, with this passion truly coming to overwhelm him, he gives a grunt, stares at this ogre and looks him dead in the eye. If you so much as think that you are a challenge from me in my state, you are more than welcome to try. And you are more than welcome to fail.
Got some spirit in this one. Like I said, I'm not too hungry right now. You gonna sit down, or are you just gonna stand there and be all better than thou?
Ganesh folds his arms, leans against the wall. Talk if you want. I will humor you and listen.
Good. Now it all began back when I was just a tiny little seedling in my daddy's dick. Even back then, the gods knew I was destined for greatness. And just with this...
Do not insult me further.
And
Greatness.
Just for a sec. As he hisses, the scent of his breath just adds an extra layer to the horrible smell surrounding him. But now continue.
Yeah. You call this greatness?
Look at me. I'm huge.
I've got huge guts, rip and tear.
All I have to do is sit here and wait for other idiots to come by. And if I'm feeling hungry, I invite them inside. I hit them real hard. And I eat them. And then I get bigger. When you're in this place, you don't have to sleep. You don't have to eat. So everybody I eat just gets me bigger and bigger and bigger. Now that I think about it, I gotta wonder what you taste like.
You would not live long enough to find out.
Well, he is climbing to his feet. Process that may take about 5 minutes, all told.
Well, as he's taking his sweet time getting up, Grunash just starts walking on out.
You are unable to just walk away.
Reason?
The anger burning in your heart tells you to act. To not just let this offense to creation itself sit there and feast on the remains of poor passers-by.
Yeah, but that's also the reason why he's heading out. He's going to look for a way to find a weak point in this structure, bring it collapsing down, and take him with it.
Huh. Well, with that in mind,
Robin's like, no, well, actually, okay.
you rather easily swing beneath the platform that he's standing on, and as he starts thumping around now that he's finally on his feet and shouting, "Where did you go, little one? I still gotta eat you." Just watching the way that the wooden trunks rattle around as he walks lets you identify the weakest ones. And so with your climbing skills, you're easily able to make your way over to each one and just hammer it with your fists over and over again, shattering the wood, splintering it, causing it to split under its own weight, the weight of the structure, the corpulent of it. 1, 2, 3. The rest can't hold the weight. It topples over, cracks, crumbles, creaks. For a brief moment, you see that ogre tumbling past you, look of complete surprise on his face. Before you hear more crashes, both above you and below you, as the structure tumbles into one of the other rickety towers surrounding you. And more crash and crumble and fall into the sightless abyss below. As for the ogre, you see him tumble and hit a couple of platforms. One, then it collapses, then another, and it collapses. Then he's beyond your range of vision. He stops screaming after the second hit.
This is what you get for not having proper, construction guidelines.
This is why we need OSHA.
And this is less an OSHA issue and just more straight up government regulations.
And now that you have acted on your passion, it has released you for the moment. And as your surroundings continue to collapse, you have an opportunity to wonder at just what happened.
I would take that moment to wonder, but my senses are still picking up on the high that, oh hell, there's a few things collapsing around me. I need to make sure I'm safe.
Well, actually, you are pretty much safe where you are right now. The structure above you has collapsed in a different direction, and the domino effect has pushed the other collapsing structures away from you.
It's all gone to shit, Koopa.
But the thought occurs to you that if one ogre was in these surroundings, there might have been others. Others who aren't quite so cannibalistic.
Well, it's not like that one didn't deserve his fate, but to be driven by such passion. That is not like who I am. What was that exactly?
Well, that might be just the biggest worry of all. Underneath that calmness that you so very carefully, that was you.
I've not felt this anger since that day in Okra. I felt so helpless, so useless. He grips his fists together, just holding them. No. This isn't the time for this. It is a part of me that I should not let it control me. There must be something else out here. And with that, he starts seeking to explore further, see if there's any other places that look like structures that might house someone that potentially has more reason than gluttony.
Mm-hmm. Well, as you wander out in search, we will cut back to Lily.
Oh, good. My headset died. I'm back.
Okay.
Hi. What?
Yeah, you're back. It's your turn.
Yeah. Right as fucking Bob and transitioned to my end, my headset died.
That's timing.
Okay, so I'm still scrambling up this castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hypothetically speaking, can I cast suggestion on myself?
Possibly.
Could I use it to
is still-
calm my nerves?
Well, it is still a concentration check, and it does end either in 8 hours or when you finish doing the thing you say you want to do.
Hmm.
But I will say
Okay.
that another easier way to calm your nerves is to step inside one of the buildings that you've been passing through, and when you do so in this case, what you find is an oversized throne room.
Oh.
As if a great stone giant had once lived here. And sitting, just like the size of a little doll left on a chair, is this short human, halfling, somewhere in between.
A short man.
But yeah, she is sitting on the throne like it belongs to her, even though based on proportions it clearly doesn't. And
Yes, it's
sitting
just
underneath
that
it is just this little bindle. Appears to be full of stuff, but can't quite see it's all wrapped up.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll approach her. You having fun there, buddy? Pal?
Right. Her immediate reaction is to scramble up onto the seat of the throne room and pull her sword. But after you just follow that with a few more banal comments without pulling a weapon, she calms down a bit. Says, sorry about that. Hard to say who's friendly and who's not around here. Especially as a goblin. I'm sure you understand.
No.
No.
You're the first person I've met here, actually.
Oh. A newbie. Well, welcome to the ladies' mazes.
Yeah,
I'm sure you
figured
did
as much.
something amazing to piss her off.
You ever hear of something that's both a blessing and a curse? 'Cause that's my situation.
Blurst?
Blurst, you're right. My point is, I'm not here because she's angry at me. I'm here because she wants me to be. Which isn't much better.
Same thing as far as I've ever heard.
Intent is important, especially when dealing with a god.
Oh, if you say so. Although if you called her a god, that would explain things.
True. Look, I have dealt with so many fucking...
You're not one of those wackies who actually tries to worship her, are you?
Oh, fuck, no. The last thing I need is another testy
Okay, yeah.
being to deal with. God, no. I have dealt with so many gods at this point that I could not. It's miserable. I would not recommend it.
Oh, yeah, I hear that. Anyway, yeah, my story is that, I scammed a Davos.
Oh, that one's on you, buddy.
Yeah, come to think of it. I mean, I didn't think I was doing it any harm. Just, convinced it to enter a portal to the Abyss.
Oh, no, I've been to the Abyss. I would not recommend it.
Stole part of his robe as he was leaving.
I met Demogorgon, too. Would not recommend that either.
Oh, yeah, you met Demogorgon?
Yeah.
I'm big pals with Grazd. You know that one?
Unfortunately. Never met him, though, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, if you can talk him out of going into one of his sex pits, then you're pretty much golden.
Huh. Didn't know that. I did fucking piss off Orcus, though, and that was not great to deal with.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's just a teddy bear if you know how to roll up on him.
Yeah, but he didn't take it kindly to me shooting one of his liches in the face repeatedly.
Oh,
Also trying to help Demogorgon, you know.
Well, I encountered him once when I met a whole bunch of a vampire curse he left behind, and I killed the head vampire, and it just dusted all the other vampires you'd created.
Oh, nice. So why are you here? Like, why, what are you doing here?
Oh, well, I kind of like it here. I mean, you got this big old throne. It's pretty nice.
I don't know, the back
Got all
support
my-
seems terrible.
Oh, well, thrones aren't built to be comfortable. They're built to be imposing. This is the most imposing throne I've ever seen.
Yeah, but that's why I don't want a throne. It's why I prefer to live like people. I don't know.
Well, like I said, I'm really only still in the mazes because I want to be. Finds all sorts of neat stuff. I got a collection of it there at the base.
Oh, anything fun?
Oh, all sorts of stuff. She hops down, unties the bindle, and starts pulling things out. Now, see, this is the stick of the end of the world. I just climbed right on out to the edge, right where all the weird towers and bridges end. Wasn't a single thing to be seen far beyond it in any direction except the way I just came. And so I grabbed this stick because I knew it was magical. I knew it had to have some essential power to it. So I hacked it right off.
It just looks like a stick.
Well, that's how you know.
I have been wrist deep in magic bullshit for years, and I can assure you are 100% correct. Enjoy that stick. Anything else of interest?
Oh yeah. I also got this. And she pulls out a shattered crystal ball. Now you see this used to be the ball of suffering. It brought forth all sorts of horrible undead creatures that just menaced the poor people of the mazes. Just had them running over there. So I snuck right through the rooftops above the undead horde, swung right down, nabbed this right off the ancient magic pedestal. I think it was from Orcus, actually. I think he was trying to sabotage the mazes. But I put an end to it because I took that spear and I just threw it down at the ground, smashed it to pieces, and the undead all collapsed like dominoes, falling to the ground.
My stats are bad.
This one doesn't have any magic power left. I just keep this one as a souvenir.
To see through this.
Sorry, what?
I said, what should I roll to attempt to see through this to see if they're lying or not? I need
Insight.
to know. Oh, this will go well. Oof. Let's lucky that. Let's lucky that for funsies.
You have to take the 3 now.
Okay, that's fine. The 7 wasn't going anywhere either.
I thought Lucky
no.
allowed you to...
Yeah, normally you do get to choose the higher one. Now you have to choose the lower one.
Oh.
Lily.
I see. Could I actually apply the headdress of mental retribution here?
No,
Okay.
it would only make it worse.
That's interesting.
But anyway,
You know what?
I can tell you all about this stuff. Along the way. I mean, you do want to get out of here. I'm betting.
No, I love it here. It's great.
Oh, come on.
No, I love the castles in the ocean. In the ocean and the castles. The castles. And the not corpses. Those are weird. Trying my best not to think about them, actually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I saw them setting themselves up. That was the weird part.
Sounds like a good time. Why don't you try? I kind of want to roll again.
Robin?
Bebop?
I think we lost Bobbin. I think we lost.
Might have lost the bobbin.
Corpo?
I mean, I can hear you too.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can
both
hear
as
you
well.
guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured just because I hadn't said anything, I wanted to clarify that it wasn't breaking for me.
Although it's fucking weird that the two interacting at the moment are the ones who fucking died.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So.
So it's my campaign
Kalon
now.
and Tiamos. All right. You guys meet
No,
in a tavern.
no,
What do you do?
no. This is my campaign now. Fuck you.
No. No thanks.
Hello?
This is interesting. Maybe ping Julia to like change the server or something. That might fix it.
Yeah, she might be able to change the server location.
Hello.
Hello?
Okay.
I can't hear. I can hear you, Visk. I don't know if
Yeah,
Tiamos has said anything.
Still hear you, and
Testing, 1, 2, testing.
Yeah, I can hear you.
the three of us can hear each other, but
But the other two are sent to the Shadow Realm.
Testing? Oh, it flash again.
1, 2, testing, 1, 2.
Hello? Okay.
Maybe if everyone leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Hello.
Hello?
Testing. 1, 2, testing.
Yeah, I can still hear Tiamos and I can still hear Visk. This is so fucking weird.
I've never had this problem with Discord before. I've had all kinds of Discord problems, but this, where two people just disappearing from being able to be in the call, is just bizarre.
Okay. Maybe if we try another one of the rooms? Maybe if we try going into, like, Let's Play Larry's instead?
I mean, maybe we should just call it for tonight. I mean, I know it's a little awkward because it's like right in the middle of stuff, but I mean, it is getting a bit late, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
I'm actually not clear on if Bob and Torpo can hear us.
Bobbin is muted.
Bobbin is muted?
No,
What?
he's not.
Huh?
An experienced traveler of the Shadow Realm. A zone stalker.
Okay. Weird, because... Okay. Well, I think we're just gonna call the session here.
Well, hold on. Bobbin already tried restarting Discord.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very weird, because it's obviously like something with Discord, because it's happening to both of them at once. So